You are looking at surveillance video of alleged drug dealers breaking the law. You are also looking at human beings, sons, fathers, friends, pursuing a way of life that's leading them to prison or to an early death in a gunfight or drug overdose. The legacy of these men doesn't have to be a string of crimes. Children who have little chance to escape the same life in addicted drug users. Although they aren't perfect people, as of this videotaping, these men are free, hold legitimate jobs, support their families, are fathers to their children, and help keep illegal drugs out of their community. I am Mobile Police Chief James Barber. Over the past 2 years, the Mobile Police Department introduced a series of programs aimed at making Mobile the safest city in America with respect for everyone. The You Have a Choice, Respect for Everyone, and Second Chance or Else programs are driven by our commitment to enforce the law equally and fairly while helping people obey the law. The Second Chance or Else program, known as SCORE, provides nonviolent street-level drug dealers in crime hotspots an opportunity to rescue themselves from a lifetime of crime. In this video, Mobile Assistant Police Chief Lawrence Batiste, United States Attorney Kenyon Brown, and I review the SCORE program's pilot application in the Mobile community known as the Campground.
To make everyone safe, police tactics must be acceptable to the community in order to be effective. Drug dealers plagued Mobile's Campground community for decades. Many traditional police tactics alienated citizens in the very communities they were trying to protect and failed to slow the flood of illegal drugs. They made the population wary of cooperating with police officers. In applying the SCORE program, this decades-old problem, local community leaders, Mobile Police, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and other law enforcement agencies work together to arrest and prosecute campground drug dealers with long criminal backgrounds and records of violence. At the same time, they offered alleged street-level drug dealers with no police records or violent records a second chance. 21 serious offenders were identified through undercover operations. Many of them are now serving long prison sentences. The symbol of their contempt for the law, a dilapidated old building that served as their headquarters, was legally seized and demolished. At the request of community ministers and other leaders, 6 nonviolent suspects were identified and offered the opportunity to turn their lives around through the pilot application of the SCORE program. As of today, these men are obeying the law, meeting their responsibilities. They are free, hold legitimate jobs, support their families, and are fathers to their children and are helping keep illegal drugs out of their community.
The SCORE program candidates learned of their opportunity in a letter that said in part, "You have been identified as a street-level drug dealer. At the urging of the community, the undercover cases that have been made or are pending against you are being held back. Therefore, a one-time offer of help will be granted to you, but you have to attend a mandatory meeting." At the meeting, these men met ministers and community leaders who volunteered to help them change their lives. They accepted the invitation to join SCORE. Traditional law enforcement was focused solely on arrest and incarceration. Today, it fails to accomplish the goal of making our community safer because it doesn't change the behavior of offenders or the environment in which crime flourishes. It makes the public fear police officers. It also doesn't provide an alternative to selling drugs and committing other crimes for a living. SCORE addresses all 3 of these areas. SCORE also addresses the loss of potentially productive lives and the overwhelming cost of overcrowded prisons. In 2013, there were 173,916 total crimes reported in Alabama. These crimes resulted in 28,909 arrests for murder, rape, robbery, assault, burglary, and motor vehicle theft. In 2014, Alabama had more than 26,600 inmates in our prison system with only 13,300 beds. That's twice the prison design capacity. The cost was about $400 million.
The SCORE program requires courage from the people it helps. It requires commitment from ministers and other community leaders, Bishop State Community College, local employers, judges, the police department's family intervention team, and social service agencies. It requires extra effort from police officers to learn new skills and how to identify opportunities to help. SCORE isn't a cakewalk. Participants get help finding jobs, learning our laws, finishing their educations, understanding their responsibilities, and participating in their children's lives. But the real work is up to them. They must get to work on time each day and contribute, understand and follow our laws, graduate from high school or earn their GED, be responsible for themselves and their children, and resist the temptation of what they describe as the easy way. By appearing in this video, they show their commitment to changing their lives and the willingness to help change the lives of others by sharing their experiences. For this and their efforts to begin a new life, I commend them.
I started making bad decisions when I got in high school.
I dropped out of school in 10th grade.
I started using marijuana at the age of 5.
And I started using marijuana heavily back then, like 18, 19, 20.
I first tried drugs, I was 9 years old, marijuana.
Started smoking, drinking at a young age.
And it wasn't hard because of the environment where I was in. It was easy to go out there and make some money. It was easy to go out there and make a couple $100, you know. But at the same time, I'm knowing where it's gonna lead.
So I didn't know another way to get money.
We needed the money, but I know that wasn't the right way to get the money.
I sold drugs since middle school, since the 6th grade.
I think I was about 17, something around there when I started running the streets.
I ain't had no money in my pocket. I got turned to cocaine to sell cocaine.
I wasn't no person who's out there making no thousands of dollars, just nipping that money just to get by.
I thought I could survive on the street, but as I see now, you can't really make no living out the street for real, for real. Goes back to that greed of money. I was in it for the money. I didn't have no feelings for that person.
I wasn't thinking about the people I was selling drugs to then.
Fast money is not good money. There's consequences behind it.
I think I would have came violent just because the surroundings.
You gotta look out for your back for people trying to rob you or something. It's nerve-wracking.
I learned about second chance when I got a phone call from Captain Barber.
He walked up to me and pulled out this piece of paper with my name on it. I was like, it can't be real.
He was telling me that I had some cases, you know, and I knew what I was wanted for, you know.
I had the chief bring me a letter personally to my front steps when they had that little roundup. And I thought I was going to jail, but they offered me this program.
The chief and another officer came to me, and they were telling me about how the charge that I'm looking towards, how I could be facing prison time or I could take the second chance program.
When I got the letter, it scared me.
I was thinking they wanted me to, like, rat one of my buddies out or something like that. Well, what's going on? I ain't telling on nobody or nothing like that. He said, nah, I just want to give you an opportunity to change your life. This is not about telling on anybody. It's just strictly about giving us a second chance, helping us start our life, helping us start a new life so we can better ourselves.
Some people told me, yeah, you need to do that. Is that or go to jail? So I picked my choice.
I made up my mind because it was something I've been wanting to get out of doing, but didn't know how to go about getting out of doing, but you know, it was a blessing.
I was still kind of paranoid, but enough, something changed my mind and just go ahead, see what they were talking about.
He explained it to me and gave me a second chance. I took it. The best thing I ever did.
A couple of times came, I want to change my life. Just I couldn't find nobody to help me out.
Selling drugs ain't where it's at. You might think you're gonna get away with it, but eventually you're gonna get caught.
Eventually you're gonna be dead or in prison. And I knew what it was gonna lead to and still did it, but I got a second chance.
Nobody had to give me this. I'd be locked. He ain't had to do this. All he had to do was just throw me in jail.
Everybody needs help sometimes, you know, and some people don't know about all the resources that they can have.
It's an everyday struggle. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. But if you make strides and you try, the foundation to get laid right there in front of you. Yesterday, I just enrolled in a program where I can get my diploma or my GED.
I'm just trying to build up my life.
Just stick with the program and everything will look good, and here I am. I'm still here, I'm free.
Since the program, a relief that came about. I ain't gotta stand out there and do this no more.
I feel like since I got into the Second Chance program, good people are coming to my life. Better people and better environment.
I could go to work and do the right thing. I could be a family man. I get more respect.
Second Chance, and I'm still right here and cleaned up, working now, family man, going to church, you know.
If you want to change, the change is just, it have to be in you. Like I say, I was blessed for this program. So I thank God every day now.
Helping these men turn around their lives makes the people of the campground community safer. It also helps make everyone safer because crime doesn't stay in neighborhoods. The costs of helping them are tiny compared to the damage drug dealers and their customers do to themselves, their families, their communities, and to everyone. While incarcerating all of them for long sentences is unaffordable and ineffective, helping nonviolent offenders change and enlisting them in the fight against crime is affordable and effective. Almost 20 years ago, an inmate at home in prison said,
"There's nothing in this world worth coming here. I wish to God that I would have had you then. Man, if I would have had you then, I wouldn't be here now. It's too late." But what was someone like you at then? When I needed you. Be there for somebody.
It doesn't have to be too late. The SCORE participants and the ministers and community leaders who are working with them demonstrate the indomitable human spirit. They show us that people will help each other, that people can change, that the people of our communities can live in freedom from fear, and that America's opportunities are for everyone.